Justice League 54, Joshua Williamson writing with Zermanico on the art. And this, of course, is the second part of the tie-in arc to Death Metal, following Nightwing and his band of merry heroes.
And now we have more merry heroes.
We do. We're having something of a semi-Teen Titans, not original, but new Teen Titans reunion with Starfire now and Cyborg. And it's funny how they reference like Justice League Odyssey a couple of times, and there's like some editor's notes. But because
it sounds like this comes right after that last issue, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yes, but to finish my sentence before I was rudely interrupted, it's weird that this is referencing it, and it's referencing things that are just happening or just happened at the end of the book, because Williamson was the original writer on Odyssey and left after like 5 or 6 issues. It's so weird. It's because it felt like a writer who's referencing his own work because he did both. So he's like, hey, I'm going to reference all this continuity, and I'm like, but you didn't write any of this.
He only did like 3 issues, didn't he?
No, you're thinking of I think Cedric left that quickly.
Oh yes, you're right.
And then Williamson lasted like a whole arc, and then he left too.
yeah, you're right. That's why I'm thinking of Cedric.
So that was just an interesting little tidbit. But yeah, they land on Earth, or wherever we technically are. I mean, if you can still call us Earth.
It is still.
Yeah.
They made a whole big thing in that first issue of Metal going, no, this is Earth, remember.
What's left of Earth. So the question why Lex is even there, why are we dealing with Lex? And Hot Girl is ready to shank him.
Can we talk about Starfire's fantastic flaming style mohawk? It's such a great look. I would be okay with this as the standard Starfire look. I think it's great.
I don't like when they change her hair. I get confused. So
did you not recognize her here either?
I recognize her just fine. Keep in mind, Martian Manhunter's fighting the evil, the Mindhunter, the Batman Martian Manhunter, the evil one. Well, because he's trying to do what the team's trying to eventually do, which is to like get the Legion of Doom away from the throne so that Perpetua's power goes down. But so we see some examples of that and what's in his head, and when he feels pain at one point, Hot Girl feels that too, and so there's kind of this link still between them. But there's a great moment.
He mentions that he's still linked with all the Justice League.
True, but I feel like he's probably got a bigger connection with her, given their
definitely their relationship. Yeah. But I think it's notable that they kind of acknowledge that link is still there.
But the characters are talking. We get Cyborg and Starfire bonding. They kind of like had this friendship from the Teen Titans because they were kind of the 2 newbies who lived in the tower, which is a nice touch. But I did love the moment where reality starts to break down because they're at like a beach of giant, starfish, basically.
Robotic Starros.
Yeah. And Nightwing's talking to Corey, and her hair changes back to normal. In fact, not even just the hair, her outfit as well. It changes into New Teen Titans Starfire. And he's like, well, that was weird. That was like a glitch in the Matrix kind of thing. And then he's like, wait a minute, this isn't real. And he wakes up, and it's actually Lex. Oh,
it goes backwards, because you first hear Master Richard. And
I forgot we didn't.
Like Alfred.
No, I was jumping ahead to when Lex wakes him up into the real world. There's like another couple of pages of him waking up in different parts of the timeline as if he's been like knocked out. So the first one is when he was shot by KGB, so it's kind of going back to that, and he's actually okay. It's as if he woke up just fine afterwards.
It's like everything from that point on for him has just been a dream.
Yeah. But then it goes back to New 52, he's in the red. Then it goes back to when he was Batman. Then it goes back to when he was in the old Nightwing suit and Barbara's in the chair. Then it goes back to when he was in an even older Nightwing suit and Barbara's Batgirl. And then it goes back to him when he's Robin. So it's going through all this history.
I really like this kind of format of just the way it kind of flashes back, just with these key, not even moments, but key, the costuming tells you everything.
Oh yeah. Those pages are great. The actual double page layout where it shows you like that all the characters are having this moment, whether like Kendra seeing Jean and Cyborg seeing his father and all these different things. Like, I don't know if I needed as much. Like, it felt weird to me that there was so much like Dick still in that page. Like, I thought this could have just been a nice simple page of like, this is what all the other characters are seeing, kind of thing.
It probably could have been, but it does lead into Dick kind of being the one that is breaking out of the nightmare, so it kind of works for me that he's kind of interjecting himself into this. I love the layout here though, with it's this Starro in the middle with the eye, and then just all the panels between the tentacles.
Yeah,
I think that's super effective.
So Lex wakes him up and he's like, you idiots, like this is why you need me along with you, because you just stumbled into this minefield of like telepath like nonsense. And So they have to try and wake up the others, but the big cliffhanger, of course, is that these Starros are going to use the rest of the team to like fight them. They're going to control them. So the next issue is going to be this, Lex Luthor and Nightwing teaming up against the controlled Cyborg, Starfire, Hawkgirl, and Bobo. We've not really mentioned Detective Chimp, but he's there too. He was there from last issue.
Yeah. There's some fun banter with him here or there. What I expect from Bobo, basically.
Yeah. Zermanico's art's obviously still very good, and because this is double shipping, I expect that he's not in the next one because he did the first two, so I assume he's off the next one.
Really sucks because I think he didn't get to shine in this issue. He did some great layouts and some great stuff, but Zermanico shines in action, right? And there's very little action in this issue.
Yeah, not a lot of it at all. It's a solid issue though. I'm liking this as a tie-in arc. It's definitely not something that works or stands on its own completely.
Oh no!
I think as a tie-in arc that it'll go great in the omnibus with the rest of the story. I think this is a fine look. It's nice to give these characters a bit of a spotlight. Plus it means that they tie in Legion of Doom in some way. Like this is how the Legion of Doom are like factor into things. But we get to focus on Nightwing and these characters and have them sort of feel a bit more important to the story overall. We're also obviously we have Speed Metal and we're getting other things and.
Yeah, but it's nice to spend some time with, especially this group of characters like Nightwing and Corey and I suppose Cyborg as well. We haven't really seen them together that much in a long time.
I like their bonding.
When they're talking about this, hey Vic, it's been a long time. You missed a lot, and the last stuff he was on Earth for was I can't remember what they were referencing, but it was like years ago in real world time at this point.
Oh yeah, in comics, it was like from before Odyssey.
Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, it's been a while since these characters have interacted.
I mean, you made a dig at Cyborg there. I actually really liked having Starfire's couple of moments here.
I do as well. I'm just predisposed to make digs at Cyborg. I think it's when someone mentions Jarro and he's like, who's Jarro? It's like, oh yeah, you missed a lot. It's like, yeah, Jarro's been a thing for seemingly so long now in our minds that I guess that's how long it's been since we've had these characters interacting with anyone else, and I have missed that. Yeah,
it's Hawkgirl who says she misses Jarro when she sees all the big starfish. Delightful. You know what? Props to the writing for remembering or realizing that he was gone and wouldn't know who Jarro was. It's one of those things where I almost imagine that Williamson's writing this scene. They see this beach full of all the big giant starfish. And he thinks, I'll have Kendra say, I miss Jarro, because that's a funny line, because no one really likes Jarro that much. He's kind of this little annoying pest that they'll have to deal with. And he probably just had a moment where he went, wait, Cyborg wouldn't know who that is.
And I think, I know you're giving the credit there to Williamson, but it may have been editorial.
It may have been.
That picked up on this. If he didn't, editorial doing their job properly should do.
But what I'm saying is, though, I can imagine it being like an accident, where it wasn't a planned thing. It was just like he stumbled into it. It was like, oh, wait, light bulb. He wouldn't know who that is. And it's so or maybe even he wrote the scene and then the editors read the scene and went, hey, Cyborg wouldn't know who that is. But
so, just change this a bit, yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I don't. I mean, maybe it was. Like, it could have possibly been the thought of that first, but I'm assuming that they didn't start with the thought process of we'll have this joke where Cyborg doesn't know who Jarro was. I'm thinking in some form of the scene existed preconceptually or was written, and then either Williamson or the editor went, oh wait, he wouldn't know who that is.
No, that's my assumption as well, because it feels like a natural thing for someone to react to with all the Starros there and referencing Jarro, and then kind of realizing, oh hey, he wouldn't know.
Honestly, if I'm going to critique it, I would say that he should have swore. Obviously, it'd be censored in the way they usually do it, but it should have been, who the F is Jarro? Or what the F is Jarro? I think that would have made it even funnier.
But, I think it probably would have, yeah.
But hey, that's Justice League 54. So what you giving it?
I'm going to give it an 8. I think it would have been a 7.5, but the art and the layout especially bump it up.
Yeah, I'll probably go to 7.5. I think it's good, solid tie-in. It's not a must-read by any means, but I do not feel like I regret reading it, though, which is sometimes happens with a tie-in. I've been saying this last couple of episodes, but Death Metal so far has proven to be very sort of worthy in the tie-in department, but they've all felt worth reading.
Very, very much the exception to the rule, though, isn't it?
If they can keep this going, I'm not going to complain.